Issue 2 starts 6 years ago on the planet Krypton. Cal is attending school through a video call. The teacher is praising his friend's homework presentations. But for Cal, the teacher says, "Kal-El, your writing about the dangers and issues faced by the loggers in the glass forest of Urea is too detailed. It also doesn't seem like something generated text. Did you copy this directly from the cleric's luminarium?" the teacher asks. Cal, looking down at his desk, responds, "I wrote it." The teacher says, "I can't see you, Cal. Look up and speak." Cal then looks at the camera and repeats, "I wrote it." The teacher asks, "Did you really write this yourself? The luminarium contains all of Kryptonian history and the knowledge of the Science League. You wrote this without using it? After class, I'd like to speak with your parents." The teacher is amazed by Cal's knowledge about Krypton. Back on Earth in the present time, the story resumes with the scene from Issue 1, where Lois Lane handcuffs Cal. Lois says, "Get on your knees. You're being detained by the authority of Lazarus Corp," pointing a gun at him. However, when Cal struggles to free his hand, Lois is thrown off balance. The handcuffs are indestructible. So, Superman asks his AI suit, Soul, to help remove the handcuffs. But no, since these are high-tech devices from Lazarus leader Brainiac, even Soul is unable to remove them. At that moment, Lois shoots directly at Cal's face. Soul releases lava energy near the cuffs to try to save Cal, but Cal tells it not to harm Lois. The entire Lazarus Corp surrounds him. Despite being cuffed and having a gun aimed at his face, he is still worried about hurting the woman who shot his face. He's the absolutely noble Superman. But Lazarus Corp shows no mercy. They start firing at him with their guns. Superman uses his body to shield Lois from the gunfire. Ungrateful Lois says, "Let me go. Get this thing off me." Cal responds, "Did you forget? You're the one who cuffed me." Cal's AI suit, Soul, says, "The metal used for these cuffs reforms itself as quickly as I can sever it. This will take some time." Cal responds, "We don't have time. I can't do this for..." Just before Cal finishes his line, Lois shoots him in the face again. Though Cal doesn't feel pain, the repeated hits are disorienting him. He shouts, "Stop doing that." Lois snaps back sarcastically, "Oh, so now you're talking to me," as she glares at Superman, who always seems to be talking to his suit. She adds, "Lazarus doesn't want you dead. Just on your knees. Do it. And this will all be over." At that moment, Cal commands his suit, "Use the dust to hold on to her, but don't let it tear her in half," and flies away, taking Lois with him. That's right. This Superman's cape isn't an ordinary piece of fabric but a type of red dust crafted on Krypton. That's why it's referred to as the dust instead of the cape. Moreover, he can control it however he wants with his suit. That's super cool. I even remembered Spawn's suit, which can change sizes and be used like a shield. However, peacemakers are chasing them in flying tanks from behind. And then, without showing any concern for Agent Lois Lane's safety, they fire a level 11 powerful launcher at them. "Soul!" Superman warns his suit. The suit also notices that and quickly surrounds both him and Lois Lane with the red dust to shield them from the blast. Superman, carrying Lois Lane, lands on the ground unharmed. At this moment, Lois shoots at Superman's face again and reports their location to her headquarters. According to her report, Superman leapt to this faraway location in a single bound. But before she could disclose the exact city, the suit jams her transmission. And yes, Superman didn't fly, he leapt to this distant place. This is also a reference to the Golden Age when Superman first appeared, adding a nostalgic touch. In those early days, Superman was depicted as leaping between locations instead of flying. This highlights Superman's journey of discovering his powers, showing that he hasn't learned to fly yet in this comic. Returning to the story, the suit jams the transmission, and Superman asks, "I just saved your life several times. And you want to arrest me for it?" Lois responds, "You endangered my life by trying to escape lawful custody. You endanger everyone by being whatever you are." Superman explains calmly that Lois could have died from the recent energy blasts. Lois, staying focused on her goal, continues studying Superman and asks, "What are you?" And then he replies, "Just another child of dirt." Suddenly, explosions erupt near them. Superman shouts to everyone, "Get out of the streets. Get somewhere safe," as he grabs a car. He explains that these attacks could easily kill Lois Lane as well, and that they don't care about her. Superman throws the car at the tank, causing it to explode and collapse directly onto a building where civilians are sheltering. Though the handcuffs remain intact, Superman focuses on rescuing people and pulls Lois along with him. The red dust protects Lois from the flames, and Superman tells her not to be afraid. This red dust is made from sunstones of Krypton. It has healing properties and can withstand damage from fire and explosions, which Superman uses to rescue people. By blowing freezing air from his mouth, he extinguishes the burning building and freezes the surrounding area. After this, Superman collapses to his knees, exhausted. The red dust returns to him, shielding and healing him. At this moment, Lois begins to understand him and, for the first time, lowers the gun she had kept pointed at him. "Thank you." Superman also expresses his gratitude when he sees this. Then, Superman stands and talks about a location in the Arctic Ocean. He describes a place where there are more polar bears than people, where the sun doesn't set for days. He mentions how the night sky in those places reveals countless stars, and those stars are nothing but chunks of rock. He also shares that he came from one of those distant planets. Just as he's about to tell the name of his planet, the handcuffs fall off. Lois wants to know more, but Superman flies off. Back at base, Lois Lane has to write a report on her field experience. For her, it's just typing a report into the computer, but on the other side, someone is reviewing it. That someone is Superman's greatest enemy, Brainiac. Behind him, it seems that he has also collected cities and other things as usual. While sitting on a chair with cables connected, he is the one quietly controlling the entire Lazarus Corp. He asks Lois to rate how dangerous Superman is on a scale of 1 to 10. Lois explains that Superman isn't a threat, despite his power, but the computer rates him as an 8. When asked if Superman could be controlled, Lois replies, "No, he can't be controlled," but the computer concludes, "Agent advises termination." So noted. But Lois isn't satisfied. She wants people to know the truth. So, she starts writing her own report about Superman. Lois writes, "When I first met him, I thought all his power came from his suit. But after seeing his actions, hearing his words, and witnessing him save people, I realized it's not the suit. It's his inner strength, and even without the suit, his body itself is super. His powers seem limitless, there's no way to determine the full extent of his potential, or compare his most extreme abilities to anything we know. And, during the battle, he transitioned from a shy boy into a calm and commanding figure as he saved people up close. He feels like a lost child, still figuring out who he really is. On the other hand, he is capable of speaking many languages. Despite multiple attempts to capture or destroy him, nothing can control or defeat him." As a private note, she adds, "He smelled amazing, in a feminine, delicate way." Additionally, we see that Lois Lane, who in this universe is not a journalist but a soldier, really hates writing reports. But by the time Lois finishes this report, she feels surprisingly satisfied. Flashing back to Krypton, young Kal is shown playing with his dog Krypto. His parents are working on an experiment. Superman's father warns the Science League that their planet will soon be destroyed, but they wouldn't listen to the words of a miner and a mechanic. In this universe, Krypton is nearing destruction due to excessive exploitation of its resources. So, Superman's father often sneaks underground as a miner to smuggle sunstones to his wife, and she is creating the suit Superman now wears. If they were to create enough suits like this to save everyone on the planet, it would take many years. So, they use the sunstones they have to create the suit, which is powered by the stone's energy. The suit is not only a suit but also functions as a spaceship or rocket ship. And it also can be used as a weapon. Science League won't listen till the end. Ultimately, their family of 3 plans to use these suits to escape Krypton. Superman's father says, "We'll escape to other planets. I'll bring as many sunstones as I can." From this, it's clear that Superman's suit isn't just a cape, it's a rocket ship that brought him to Earth. Now on Earth, Superman arrives at a location where signs indicate resistance against Lazarus is rising. And at the place where the battle happened, the peacemakers are still there. One of them says, "Ever since I signed up with Lazarus, I've seen all kinds of crazy things. But not like that guy. All he did was look at us. And it was like we were locked in a microwave," referring to Superman. Then, they turn to the nearby civilians, saying, "These people all know where he's hiding, but they won't tell us. They don't appreciate everything we've done to pull them out of the mud. Teach them." As they shout, "Peace has a price," they unleash a hail of bullets on the people Superman had just saved. Okay guys, this concludes part 2 of Absolute Superman. More updates will follow as new issues are released, so don't forget to subscribe. See you all in the next video. Have a peaceful day.